Official oppression. What is official oppression? Let's talk about it because I saw what happened in Tarrant County at the Commissioner's Court yesterday, and I've been really wanting to talk about this topic. So let's talk about what official oppression is. And why we should use that statute. For you guys that don't know me, my name is George Saldana. I'm a Harris County Family Court veteran. I've been in the Harris County Family Courts for the last 8 years, trying to litigate my way to be a father for my child. I found other ways to get from point A to point B using unconventional or unorthodox methods. With that being said, I want to talk about official oppression and how we should use it as a member of the public going forward. If you live in Texas, you might have even heard of Attorney General Ken Paxton being criminally charged. All last year, you heard about President-elect Donald Trump being criminally charged. He was charged, he was prosecuted and convicted of a felony. So, not to get political with this, because this isn't a political post. This is just talking about people that are in higher positions that are official, and how logic shows that even people in those high positions can be criminally charged. With that being said, we have this thing called official oppression in the state of Texas. So I'm going to read off my tablet. I went to Google Chapter 39, Abuse of Office, in Title 8 of the Texas Penal Code. And this is Texas law. It's only meant for people that are living here in the state of Texas. But if you scroll down, Chapter 39.03 of the Texas Penal Code, it states official oppression. A public servant acting under color of his office or employment commits an offense if he intentionally subjects another to mistreatment or to the arrest, detention, search, seizure, disposition, assessment, or lien that he knows is unlawful, intentionally denies or impedes another in the exercise or enjoyment of any right, privilege, power, or immunity, knowing his conduct is unlawful. Those are the first two. The third one, intentionally subjects another to sexual harassment. We've heard of judges having inappropriate relationships in their chambers. That could be construed as official oppression if it was ever reported. Or maybe it was reported and nobody wanted to take official oppression charges. But let's keep diving in. Official oppression is a Class A misdemeanor, as defined in Chapter 39.03 of the Texas Penal Code. I'm not a lawyer, didn't go to law school, but I know how to read. But just to be safe, because I might not know what I'm reading, I asked ChatGPT, can you dumb this down for me? A public servant breaks the law if they knowingly do something illegal, like mistreating someone, arresting them, or taking their property when they know they have no right to do so. Knowingly block someone's legal rights, like their freedoms or their protections, when they know their actions are wrong or illegal. So we know what knowingly means, but what is a public servant? A public servant is anyone who works for the government or holds a position of authority in a public office, either elected or appointed. This includes police officers, judges, sheriffs, government officials, public school teachers, state and federal employees.
Telling you what
You're arrested with a court order. I have a court order supposed to pick up my son, and I'm getting arrested for criminal trespass. A lot of my advocacy comes from my experiences trying to be a father to my child in Harris County. I've had judges, I've had bailiffs, I've had law enforcement all deny me simple, basic, fundamental rights like filing criminal complaints. So I learned how to make a criminal complaint, learned how to file it, it's in the Code of Criminal Procedure, and I think we should start using official oppression, since we know what it is now, against these government officials that are oppressing us. And what I mean by oppressing is knowingly and willingly violating people with their positions of power. If y'all have been following me, you've seen where in Harris County, I had a bailiff assault me, put his hands on me first, and then when I asked for a supervisor, he went ahead and filed a criminal complaint for assault on a peace officer with bodily injury.
Watch what the bailiff, a Harris County Sheriff's deputy, did first.
Look, touch my phone. Get out. Get out. Get out of here. Or what? My phone. To my phone. No.
And then see how a simple tap on the back to get his attention provokes criminal charges for Saldana.
Call your supervisor. Call your supervisor.
No, you just assaulted the police.
No, I didn't. I didn't assault nobody. Get off me.
The probable cause document says Saldana pushed the bailiff in the back, causing pain.
Are you kidding me?
I want you to look closely at that moment again. The deputy is ignoring Saldana's request for a supervisor.
Who's your supervisor? Call your supervisor. Call your supervisor.
Is that assault of a police officer?
No way.
The bond was set at $30,000, then reduced to $15,000. The judge wants to test Saldana for mental illness. He's been put under 24-hour curfew. This is a father who hasn't been allowed to see his son for over 2 years. He may be the biggest pain in the ass of judges in Harris County, although I try to compete.
Took me to jail. He knows he put his hands on me first. He knows it. I was in a public space. I wasn't doing anything illegal. And he put his hands on me when I told him to stop. And then when I asked for a supervisor, he turned around and he pressed charges on me. Now, that story cost me a lot of money. 4 days of my freedom in the Harris County jail because this guy put his hands on me and then filed criminal charges on me, which created a bond keeping me in jail, imprisoned. Some of these judges and bailiffs and law enforcement officers know what they're doing. They're taking advantage of the public. They're falling back on some of their immunities in which protect them. Now, I'm not saying all police officers, all judges, and all attorneys are bad, but the ones that are doing it, oppressing people while they're in positions of power, need to be corrected. Internal affairs, when you file complaints with internal affairs, that's just a grievance. It's a complaint. There's no criminal charges attached to it. In the case I just talked about with this bailiff that attacked me, I filed a criminal complaint with official oppression on it. I got all of his policies and procedures. He knows how he's supposed to act. The Harris County Sheriff's Department internal affairs captain has allowed this to be downplayed as a policy violation, a grievance. They downplayed it. I filed a criminal complaint for official oppression. So that's where we stand with this. Why do I believe that we need to use official oppression? I believe we need to use it to hold our government officials accountable. The Constitution was made to protect the people from the government. That's why it says we the people, because we the people own the government. Some of these politicians are moving into these positions of power and using their power in retaliation. Do I recommend filing criminal charges on every public official? Absolutely not. I think there's some officials that do make mistakes. They're entitled to mistakes, but when they start wielding their discretion, they start knowingly and willingly violate the law to obtain a benefit or simply to mistreat somebody, they need to be held accountable. That's all I'm saying. I think we need to use official oppression a little bit more as the general public so that our officials know that we have the power to hold them accountable to us, the people that they ran to serve. The way I see things is we live in 2025. We have resources everywhere. We have free Wi-Fi at public libraries. The judges all have Wi-Fi on their computers in front of them. They all have iPhones or an Android phone capable of using Wi-Fi at 5G speed to look up these laws. There's no reason why anybody should be officially oppressed in 2025 when you have so many resources out there to tell you what the law is. If you're not familiar with the law, these bailiffs, these deputies, these sheriff's deputies that are oppressing people in Tarrant County need to take a step back and reevaluate their policies and procedures and the law. Have a captain come out and translate it for them if they're unsure. But to detain somebody, arrest somebody, throw them against the wall, and then try to fall back on your absolute immunity because you're a peace officer of the state? No. To fall back on, I'm a district court judge and I can wield my discretion? Absolutely not. There's a reason why official oppression is in our penal code. It's to keep officials within the bounds of the law. It's in the penal code. It was legislated for the people to use. You have official oppression and you have abuse of official capacity, 39.02. A public servant commits an offense if with the intent to obtain a benefit or with an intent to harm or defraud another, he intentionally or knowingly violates a law relating to the public servant's office or employment. So you have laws, you have policies, procedures, guidelines, and when public elected officials are violating the laws, the rules, the policies, and the guidelines, wielding their discretion, we have a law to protect the normal layman from those officials, and it's called official oppression. Look into it. Tell me what you think. It's an option because you're not going to find any other forms of relief. Again, this is just a tool for your toolbox. Think about it, research it. Tell me what you think in the comments, and thanks for watching.